Lady Nadra, and welcome back to my channel where we love all things aesthetically pleasing and we like to keep it cute over here in these sweet streets. I used to think that aesthetics were just pertaining to, you know, what's visual, but a true estate, I learned, a true estate person loves things that tickle all your senses, you know, like definitely visual, the audible side of it, the tactical side of it to what you feel, which that doesn't really get me. I'm not the feely person, although I do appreciate something like nice sheets and things like that. I do appreciate that, you know, I'm all about that life, so maybe I'm lying. But then there's the gustatory, however you pronounce that word, the gustatory side, which is somebody who enjoys something that tastes good, and not just tastes good, but how it maybe feels in my mouth is something that I'm big on. It has to have the right kind of texture for me, so maybe that's a combination of the tactile and the gustatory kind of meshed in one, because if it does not feel right in my mouth, you don't want to be near me. You don't want to be near me at all. But then there's the olfactory side, which is what we're talking about today. The olfactory is what you smell, you know, and I'm all about that, whether it's good or bad. If it's good, we're all good. If it's bad, it's all bad. I can't stand something that smells bad. Like, it vexes me. It vexes me when something smells bad and I have to, you know, be subjected to it, you know. Oh, but if my space smells good, just around my surroundings, my body, my room, you know, I love a nice candle. I love the ambiance that it brings, but the smell just really, it can calm me or it can get me all riled up, you know. Kind of like music, you know, how music is like the soundtrack for life. Like you can always put a song to your mood and kind of enhance it or bring you down, or, you know, that kind of thing. Fragrance does me the same way. So the scent for today, what I have on today is this Thé Noir 29. Thé Noir 29 by Labo is my jam. Like, this is one that I will always have in my collection. Now this Thé Noir, you see I don't have a dent in it because this is a new bottle. This is probably like my 4th bottle of Labo. Because what happens is this is a refillable bottle. So once I use up all the juice in it, they'll customize me another bottle, another fragrance rather, and then they will give me a new label, put a new date on here. This one, I got this one 4/2/24, and so this has been sitting, and I decided to pull this out. And the reason it was sitting is because when they first make it, it has to macerate. It has to come all together. All the alcohol, the oil, all the things have to mature and macerate, come together. Not maturate, two different words, but they kind of have the same meaning. But they have to do that. It has to do that in order for the fragrance to become the fragrance, right? So they tell you when you get a Le Labo scent to let it macerate. Once, if they just made it fresh, they want you to give it 2 days to 2 weeks to come together and become what they know the fragrance to be. So I got it, and then I'm like, okay, let me put it in a cool, dark, you know, space, which is where my perfumes are housed, on a shelf, but they're not in direct sunlight and they are kind of enclosed. And so I keep my fragrances there, and I just set this up there and let it do what it was supposed to do. And I'm like, let me pull it out today. You know, so I've had this on, and right out the door when I went downstairs, my housekeepers were here and they were like, oh, you smell so good, and so on and so forth. It kept happening all day. So in this video, we're going to talk about what's new in my fragrance collection. I have typically been more of a niche into designer fragrance, girl. I like a niche fragrance. I feel like once you start wearing the extracts and the niche fragrances and, you know, the higher concentration, oil concentration fragrances, it's kind of hard to go back to the eau de toilette and even some of the eau de parfums. I definitely have some, you know, and I wear them. But if you're asking me what do I prefer, I prefer, well, I want it to smell good, you know, and then I want it to last. That's really what I want from the fragrance. But it seems like the extracts to the niche fragrances and some eau de parfums are where you get that kind of longevity and projection. For my birthday, I got some Sephora gift cards, and I have been in my perfume bag. I think it's because I've been watching a lot of fragrance reviews, and you look in the background in these videos and these people have like cases and cases of fragrances almost lining the whole wall. And I'm like, oh, I thought I had a perfume collection. I ain't got no perfume collection. My collection is very, very minimal in comparison, but I don't want to get that. I feel like what I have is enough. I have a type of perfume. So I typically like something that's like a heavy hitter. You know, I like a head turner. I like something where I put a fragrance on, you know, and I'm an oversprayer. I do all the things like over the top. So I'm an oversprayer. And I put it on. I want you and me and the neighbors and everybody to smell me, right? I'm that person that gets on everybody's nerves with their perfume. But I love it, so sorry. But I did want to get some more fresh scents, some more like everyday type of fragrances. I feel like I have enough perfume to last me, and I don't really need any perfume, but it's certain types of perfume that I'm after. So for my birthday with my gift cards, I've just been putting them together and getting some fragrances. Now, I've been back and forth a few times, like that Kayali vanilla rock candy. I think it's vanilla sugar rock candy or something like that. That had to go back. It was an absolute no. Once I got it home, I was trying to make myself like it because I do like a sweet fragrance, you know, and it was reminiscent to me of pink sugar. And I'm like, just buy a bottle of pink sugar, you know, it's cheap, you know, because I thought to maybe mix that in with something else, you know, something a little bit more tart, or you know, you just try to create bend the fragrance in a different direction, give it a different narrative sometimes with the way you layer. And so I decided I'm just gonna get the pink sugar. So I took the Kayali vanilla rock sugar or something like that. I took that back. So when I took that back, I got this Prada Paradox. This Prada Paradox, now the bottle is was a part of the allure for me because, you know, this just sitting up on when I've seen this in people's collections, I'm like, it draws me in, you know, like, oh, I want to get that. So you see, I kind of have a small dent in this fragrance. I've worn most of these fragrances. I've worn at least once, with the exception of two, which are the two that I've got today. But I have a small dent in this fragrance, and I would say that it is definitely, this is the intense version. I didn't get the initial drop that they had of the Prada Paradox. This is the Prada Paradox Intense, and it has a little bit more. It's definitely worthy of the intensity because it's strong. It's strong. It's got pear in it, jasmine, vanilla, white musk accords in it, and it's really intense. Like, If you don't like moss, or if you're not keen on the amber, like amber and moss, then don't get this fragrance because it kind of hits you in the face with that initially. Yeah, it's very intense. Now the sweetness in it, I guess that's the pear and the amber, kind of jumps out as you you put your nose to it. But I'm gonna keep it. But like, when I'm running to the gym, running errands for the day, this is a fragrance that I can smell too, but I don't know, I slept in it, and as I sweat through the night, it was kind of overpowering. So even for me, and I'm not sensitive to fragrance smells, so this was kind of intense, but I'm gonna keep it. Maybe I can mix it in with something, I don't know, but I'm gonna keep it. Now Sunday, Coco the Silver, or Annie Coco, or AKA Coco, she bought me this. This is the YSL Mon Paris, and she's a feminine fragrance, sweet, with amber in it. Let me see what the notes are. Strawberry, raspberry, pear, orange, and tangerine. And I definitely smell the orange or the tangerine, either one. I'm sure they're very similar. I smell that when I put this up to my nose. Peony, jasmine, jasmine sambac, Chinese jasmine, orange blossom. It's heavy on the orange blossom, which I like. That's probably what is drawing me to this, along with the patchouli leaf, ambroxan, cedar, vanilla, and moss. So I'm a vanilla girl. So yeah, the vanilla, I don't really get the vanilla though. It's kind of laying to the back when I smell this fragrance. I wore this to bed as well, and the performance was good when I first put it on. But what I wanted was for it to keep projecting, and as my body heated up, or it didn't get more intense at any point. It kind of faded away. So this will be something else that I will mix in with another fragrance, because I do like the fragrance. Oh, where's the hole? I do like the fragrance, but it's just a little light for me. It just needs a little bit more to push it. So I would definitely mix it with something. I have to sit with it and get more familiar with it in order to know what I'm gonna put with it. But Mon Paris, she's cute. Now these, I have two of these. So I got this one, the Aqua di Gioia. Aqua di Gioia is from the Armani collection, and there are tons of these. They have all different colors of these bottles, which is what drew me to it. Number one, the bottle, the color, for display purposes. I'll talk about that one in a second, but this one is my jam. Now this one is what I was looking for in a under the luxury line fragrance. This bottle of green, it's green, but it's not not just in the bottle color, but in the fragrance. It's green, but it's not as intense as Aqua Media by MFK. It's not as intense, but it does have some of the same accords, like the lemon in it. And this one has mint, so it's very, very, very fresh. Very fresh, which is something that I'm looking for. It's not like anything, I don't have a lot of fresh scents. All my scents are very amber forward, or spice forward, or sweet, or vanilla forward. You know what I'm saying? So this is like none of that. I messed around and wore this overnight, and then I'm like, no, let me tell you what I did. I took my shower, I put this on. The next morning, I didn't take a shower, which I typically take a shower in the morning and at night, But I didn't take a shower that morning. I got up and I went to the gym, and then I had to go to the pharmacy to do something. And while I was at the counter, the lady was like, what do you have on? That, can you please write down the name? She went and got me a piece of paper and a pen and was like, write down the name of what you have on because it smells so good. I'm like, oh my gosh, I sprayed it last night. And I just came from the gym and I sat in the sauna and sweated and all the things, you know. She was like, what? Am I smelling your body or am I smelling the fragrance? I'm like, no, it's the fragrance. I can't take credit for smelling like that. And then so the next night what I did was I did it, repeated. I took a shower and I put this on and I added MFK's Aqua Media to it. And when I tell you all through the night, I just kept, everywhere I turned, I got a whiff of this and that Aqua Media. It was so good. So this is my jam. You guys see I'm putting a dent in it. You know, but I wanna use something different. I try not to use the same thing over and over because that I'll get in that rhythm of using the same fragrance every day. And you know, if it was good yesterday, I want to wear it again today, kind of thing. But I'm trying to make sure that I'm using all of my fragrances. This is the only reason this dent is not bigger than this. That's a one-time use. Can you guys see that dent? This is a one-time use. I wore it out of the shower overnight. That's where I test all my fragrances at night. I haven't worn this out of the house yet. But when I did wear it, I felt the fragrance that I got, I just felt so fresh and clean. Like when you know, put fresh linen on the bed and, you know, your sheets, everything's white and, you know, very inviting. That's the kind of fragrance that you get from this. A freshly laundered mix with a body wash. That's what this does for me. So today I took back my backup bottle that I had for Initio Paragon. I love Initio Paragon. I mean, that's why I had a backup bottle. So I could make sure that I would not run out of it. But over last year into this year, I've gotten the House of Oud by Initio. I've gotten Initio's Rehab. And I want to try Musk Therapy, I think, next. That would be one of the ones that I want to try next. So my thought was to take the Paragon back and try Musk Therapy next. But when I walked in, I came across this bottle. Look at it. It's just like so pretty. And they had different ones, but this one stood out the most. And just based on the bottle, I picked it up. This was the first fragrance that I came to. And this is Liquide by Liquide Imaginaires. I had never heard of this fragrance before. Oh, look at that mister. That's, oh gosh. This fragrance is so good. And this is my kind of fragrance. Like the oil concentration, she said it is 36% in there. You can see that, the way that's sitting on my skin. Ooh, this is good. You guys, get your nose on this Liquide, Liquide Gold. And this is by Liquide Imaginaires. I think this is the same fragrance house as Clive Christian. And this one came out in 2022, but oh, it's got saffron, mandarin orange, jasmine, orange blossom, carrot seeds, coriander, musks, ambroxan, vanilla. There we go. Patchouli, labdanum, and woodsy notes in it. So the orange blossom and the patchouli, maybe the carrot seeds, mandarin orange, that all, this is not gonna sound right. And I said this about another fragrance and I gotta figure out which one it is, but So, okay, think Orange Pledge. Think about, you know, when you clean with the Pledge with orange oil in it. And then add patchouli, vanilla, because it creams, you know, they cream it out. It creams out with that vanilla, the ambroxan, and the woods in it. Kind of complicated a little bit. Now this bottle is, I mean, just looking at the bottle is very satisfying. It's like this part here, what the lady told me to do was to take the cap off, and she said he made it like this. So you spray the juice into, I'm not gonna do it now, but you spray the juice into there and you just kind of dab and dot. That's if you're somebody that's you know, stingy with your fragrance. But me, you know, this is a heavy hitter, so I'm not gonna have to overspray this. But the bottle is amazing. Another bottle that you can't see through. You can't tell where you are when you have these kind of bottles, but it's still a good bottle. And this Liquide, and they had some other fragrances too that kind of piqued my interest, and the price point wasn't bad. The price point, I think this bottle was $280, so I still had some wiggle room with when I returned the Initio Paragon, which was closer to $400. I had wiggle room with this, and so then I ended up adding on Montale Paris Chocolate Greedy. Chocolate Greedy is definitely like the Willy Wonka of of the fragrance world. It definitely has a chocolate scent profile to it, and I don't have anything like it in my collection, which is why I decided to go ahead and add this in. Since they weren't gonna give me any money back, I'm like, I gotta get another fragrance. So when I smell this fragrance, it is very chocolate heavy. It's got, that's so good. It's like it's not a dark chocolate, it's more like a milk chocolate with nuts. In the opening, it's definitely giving you all the cookie feels, or the, you know, a cookie or a good brownie. I would say more of a cookie, like a semi-sweet milk chocolate. Miss Fields. Like you're in Ghirardelli chocolate factory or something like that. Oh gosh, it's so good. It's got cacao, of course, vanilla, tonka bean, coffee. Yeah, coffee, dry fruits, and bitter orange. And to me, there's a little bit of sweet in it, but not from those accords. Maybe like more of a powder. When it dried down, I smelled more of a powder in it. Maybe a chocolate powder, but it was definitely, you know, powdery sweet in the dry down, and more of the milkiness, more of the vanilla came through at the dry down. But yeah, it doesn't, I would kind of like for it to hang on to that chocolatiness a little bit longer. But this is good. This is good. It's different. It's a heavy hitter. You know, Montale Paris fragrances are typically very long lasting. And it's interesting because I have another, I have this Patchouli Leaves by Montale Paris. And I'm gonna be confused. I'll have to figure out how to make these stand out so I'll know which one is which. But this one is good. But anyway, I'm gonna have to get familiar with this one. I don't know if I'm gonna wear this one tonight or if I'm gonna wear this one tonight, because I need to know how they perform, right? And then I have to let you guys know how they perform. Those are the new fragrances that I have in my collection. And so I'm going to sign off here, and I shouldn't have anything new in my collection, but should I get something in my collection, I'll let you guys know, because I mean, might as well face it, I'm a perfume head. I am. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up, share with your friends, tell them we're a vibe over here. I'm building my perfume collection slowly. I'm trying to make sure that I'm using what I have. I thought about having a perfume exchange event. I just got to figure out what that will look like. But if you're in the SoCal area, particularly the Inland Empire, you know, listen out. I may host it. It may be small, it may be big, I don't know. But you know, just to kind of exchange some fragrances maybe that people are not wearing, and get something in there that they will wear, instead of just having the juice sitting on the shelf going bad. You know, we got to get it used. Listen, y'all, I don't want to be wasteful. You know, I don't want to be wasteful. So fragrances tend to go bad after a while, so let's just keep that in mind and not be over consumers, you know. That is important in this day and climate. So yeah, I shouldn't have any new fragrances, but if I don't like something, like today, you know, I'm like, I have this fragrance that's sitting there, you know, taking up space on my perfume counter, and I'm not using it, so I'm gonna take it and get something that I'll use. All right, I hope to see you guys in the next video. If you like this kind of content, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you're wearing. What are some of the new fragrances in your collection that you're excited to try, that you have tried? Let me know what you know, what you got going over there. I'd love to hear it, and I'll be waiting. All right, see you in the next one.